Hi guys, we have in today a Parson 2-stroke 15 horsepower. Customer dropped it off, wants me to do a few basic checks on it, PDI it, give it a test run, make sure everything's working so we can go out and use it very shortly. Okay, so it's fired up, it's running a bit smoky as you can see, it's running a bit chuggy, a bit rough, but it's running on 25 to 1 meters, it's bedded in, it's a brand new engine. Okay, so you might think, yeah, it looks alright, but then you look at that and you go, oh, look at that, it's got a bar there. So this is actually a JetDrive engine, which you don't normally see on something with a small horsepower like this one. It's 15 horsepower. It started up third pull from brand new, and it's been ticking over for a while. So whilst it's ticking over, it just looks like any ordinary outboard, sat there ticking over. But when you pull this, so now that means that the reverse tube has been taken away from the JetDrive, and it's letting the metal impeller, which is in part of the JetDrive, to spin round at the same speed as the engine, giving it thrust. Hello. So as you give it more throttle, wow. I'm not going to rev it up very much because, like I say, it's been running for about 2 hours, and I don't really want to stress the engine too much in this braking period. So that's back into neutral, normal outboard again, back into forward, and because you've taken the back pressure off the jet, it allows it to tick over at the proper speed. The reverse nozzle on the end of the jet sort of like puts back pressure on it. So now you're in essence forward gear, and you can go up to your full rev when it's been running. But yeah, what I'll do, I'll tilt it up out of the water, and then I'll show you the jet unit and be able to familiarise yourself with that a little bit more. Alright, I'm going to turn this off now and do another video in a minute. Right, back again. So you might look at that and think, doesn't look much like a normal outboard. Well, it's not. See what you've got? That's the pickup screen there. So you've got inside this thing that looks like a snail shell or a turbo sort of thing. It comes around, swirls round, comes round there, and that's your output nozzle. So it picks up there. You've got a spinning round like a vane fin in there. It's like a spear-headed shaped fin that way, and it's got veins on it. That causes what's picked up here. That generates high pressure, spins it around this casing, and then it comes around here, and that's your jet nozzle. So if you look at it now, that's in neutral. So you partially got, this is the reverse nozzle, this black thing here. So you partially got, I'll put it in forward, you'll be able to see. Right, that's now in forward. So that's the jet nozzle, that's where all the power comes out. So if you look there, look, massive intake, it gets compressed in there with the vane, and that's a smaller output, which will then increase the speed of the flow of the fluid coming out of there. That's what gives you propulsion. So that's the output nozzle. So when you're in drive, that's spinning round, that gets faster as your engine gets faster, generating more thrust, and then when you pop it into, let me just reach up, pop it into neutral, that reverse flap partially blocks that output nozzle. So what then that does then is you've still got this, still your impeller, your vane impeller inside here is still turning because it's connected to your drive shaft on your engine. But what happens is, you've still got a small amount of thrust coming out of here, but what that does, the reverse flap makes a flow of that come out of there but go into the reverse flap and out. It's a bit awkward to see, out under there. So it's got partial pressure coming out forwards and partial pressure being blocked by this, and then that sends it internally through here, through there, and reverse. So it like balances itself out because you've still got drive coming into this unit here. So you have to cap it off so that you don't get drive in neutral. No, but I mean, you don't want drive in neutral. So if you're looking in reverse, there, that directs the nozzle down past there and then back out this way and then back again into neutral. So you've got partial blockage of the output nozzle. It's putting some forward and some backwards, some thrust forward and some thrust backwards rather, and then that's into drive, forward drive, and that gives it full output with no back restrictions, no back pressure action upon this nozzle, and you get a full drive from this this vein pump here. That's a linkage, so that's locked in forward. That can't go anywhere, and the reverse flap is locked in position, so it can't engage whilst you're on full throttle. You don't want that. So it's all controlled by that lever back into neutral. There we are. You see, you sort of get the idea behind it. It makes a bit of sense looking at it, how it's designed to generate pressure, and that should pick up there. I mean, as a normal outboard, whether it been a water-cooled outboard, you've still got a rubber impeller that sits in here, so it partially picks up from here through the main vane jet drive here and then into the impeller housing here. Then that uses a rubber impeller to pump water up into the engine to cool it. Great design for shallow water use if you haven't got a prop rotating. Great design for, you know, scuba schools and stuff like that. You haven't got a prop rotating. The only thing you have rotating is the vane jet in here, which is protected by that. The only thing you can get up there, unfortunately, is great sand, very small stones and such like. That's why this needs to be regularly serviced to check for any damage, chips or cuts or dents or anything like that on the metal vane inside here, because that would give you loss of power and performance in the drive unit, because it wouldn't be pumping as much water and it wouldn't be pressurising it as highly if there any damage or if the tolerances in there were out. It's quite a fine tolerance, to be fair. It's like 0.08 of a mil, 0.8, yeah, 0.08 of a mil, 0.8 of a mil, one of them. But you'd have to take this off if you suspected any damage, and check it out, adjust it, and then pop it all back together once you're happy with it. But yeah, not a bad piece of kit. I mean, the engine itself is purely a Yamaha. It says Parson on it, but we all know that it's a copy of a Yamaha, shall we say. But yeah, nice engine. Sounds sweet, a bit different. Yeah, hope you'll have a few happy days with it. Alright guys, well, thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you again. Cheers, bye. So I'll give you a look under the cover. Some folk might be interested, I don't know. But yeah, it's just like a little Yamaha, 15 horsepower Yamaha. It's nice and tidy. All the nuts and bolts are tight, no problem with it. It's put together really quite well. Yeah, that's your Parsons for you. Thanks guys.